Hello adventurers and welcome to another Bless Unleashed walkthrough video. I'm your boy No Deflection and we are going to be doing a little tutorial today on Halls of the Dead. Sorry for this long wait right here in the beginning. I'm asking the other two people in our party to see if they want to DPS the last boss, which we kind of end up doing. You'll see later on in the video. It kind of works out. You'll see. Right now we're running with 3 of our guildmates and 2 randoms. And away we go. So, in the beginning here, you're going to have a couple mobs that are just going to be small little miners. You can knock them out. Once you get down to the boss's little lair here, there are going to be 2 rock golems on the right and the left. As you can see, we pulled each with a ranger or the mage. One of them pulled. That was actually the mage that pulled. So when the rocks basically explode, these guys pop out. They come towards you. We usually fight them in the little hallway here just to avoid aggroing the boss itself. If you aggro the boss, it's not a big deal. You could just kill these guys and, just repire everyone, or, just wipe. It's not a big deal. They're not that hard to kill. Just note that these guys, when they do their stop attack, that's the only attack that's going to knock you flat on the ground. Their smash attack shouldn't knock you down. So we should be fine here, just working through these guys. Like I said, we're not fully maxed out. We only have 2 mains, and everyone else is an alt character. So it's going to be a little bit of a carry on this one. So as you can see, you have 2 miners left. And what they're going to do is they're actually going to come over and they're going to basically erupt the rock in the middle, which is our first boss of the dungeon. So we have the first golem. So with this boss, there are going to be a couple of interesting attacks that he does. He does his main smash attack there, which you can easily avoid. What he's going to end up doing, though, he's going to end up popping a shield on himself. This shield needs to be destroyed. If you do not destroy the shield, he will go aggro much faster, and he'll do a bunch more DPS, as well as an attack that could possibly wipe you guys. So what we were doing here is we're popping Earthbreaker and or our stronger skills. I would suggest alternating your stronger skills. For instance, he'll pop a second shield here as well once that first shield is gone. What you want to do is you want to keep his shields going down as fast as possible. That's basically the objective of this this dungeon first boss. So there's the second shield. It's going up. I'm still using Earthbreaker. Working our way through the shield. I mean, you can have the meteors dropping. You can have the ranger shooting his arrows. Priest popping the circle. Whatever it takes to get the shield down. It doesn't really matter. Once he does that, he's going to stun everybody. And this is where you're going to hit that button. You're going to back away. You want to avoid those little circles on the ground. Rocks fall. If they hit you, they'll stun you and do damage. You want to avoid that if possible. So here we're just going to keep working on him. Keep DPSing him down, and it's going to be rinse and repeat. Take shield down, DPS. Take shield down, DPS. Take shield down, DPS. In the end, this boss is a very simple one once you know the mechanics, and really the biggest attacks to avoid are the spires that come out of the ground here, and his stun that he puts on everybody once his shield goes away. So there's the stun again. Smash the button. Dodge roll out of the way if you can. Try to avoid those rocks that are falling. Once they're down, jump right back in. Shields up again. Same thing. DPS, meteor, Earthbreaker, whatever shot the ranger does that DPSs him down, put a mark on him, whatever it takes to get the shield down. The green insignia on below his name, that's the shield that you're looking at. Those other white shields are the defense downs. Another shield up. Same thing, DPS down. Avoid the spires that are coming out of the ground. Obviously, in the regular HOD, they don't really go directly for you. In the Abyssal, you'll notice that they're actually going to pop right below your feet. So you want to avoid them. In this one, they kind of just randomly spread out. So that's all fallen. Jump right back in with doing more DPS. The objective is to not allow the shield to go down without breaking it. If you allow it to go down without breaking it, he's going to do some serious damage. And I believe if you allow it to go past 2, it will wipe you. He'll basically just keep doing his stun attack, and he'll keep just blowing you guys out of the water. You want to avoid that at all costs. And that is the Mana Stone Golem. So this second hallway we're going to be running through, you can actually avoid fighting these guys if you really want to. I would not suggest it in this, maybe in the Abyssal for sure. But one person can actually aggro all these guys, and you can bring them back up to the Mana Stone Golem area, while everyone else runs down into the second arena, and then that last person can just bolt down there, and then once the gate closes, they should stay in this hallway. We've had a glitch out before where these guys would actually run through the door, even when the door is down, which made the boss fight a lot more fun, but I suggest not doing that. And since this is the regular HOD, I would suggest fighting them. They're not that bad. One thing to avoid are those guys that look basically like Beyblades, if you guys know what those are. I don't know if any of the 90s, early 2000s children here. They will do some serious damage to you. They can actually kill you very fast. Even here, you can see he hit me twice, and it took down about 20% of my HP. So you want to avoid those guys if possible. They have a little DPS check. If you can just DPS them down and kill them fast, you'll be fine. So that's all the trash mobs out of the way. So our next boss we have here is Rosia herself. And we'll go through and how to explain what she's going to be doing. So Rosia is going to do a couple simple attacks. She will just attack you straight on. She'll put these little balls out that you see here. You want to avoid these at all costs. They will do some crazy damage because they'll keep ping-ponging you back and forth between them, which is how that first Berserker just died that easily. He just got ping-ponged back and forth. And if you get hit by 3 or 4 of these, you're going to go down. I believe I go down in this as well because I get hit by, 4 or 5 of them all at one time in the middle. She'll do one single attack that hits one person, which you want to avoid that if you can. It's an easy dodge roll out of the way. She'll also bind one of your teammates in this. When she binds that teammate, like you'll see here, she's currently binding me. So now she's going to say something like, ha, I got you, you're not getting away, whatever it is. What you're going to do then is just hang out while your teammates all get blasted back. These little yellow orbs that pop up, they're going to grab one of those and it gives them a shield. Now what they're going to do is they're going to get in front of the orb that is coming toward you. All they have to do is touch it and it gets rid of the orb. You button mash to get out of that and you're good to go. Pretty simple. She'll probably do this 2 to 3 times. If this is your first run through, you'll probably end up doing it 3 times if I'm not mistaken, depending on your DPS. I believe we only got through 1 phase for this because we were doing a little more damage. So here's the one where I go down pretty quickly. See, just like that, when you're in the middle of those and you don't dodge roll out when you're in the middle of a combo, that will most definitely kill you. So her biggest attack is going to come up soon. Basically what she does is she'll pop these columns that you want to keep. You do not want to damage these or break these. My suggestion is if you have a Berserker or a Satyr, they can actually stand next to her when she pops these bubbles. These bubbles will go out and kill all those columns. You don't want them to go away. You want to keep them for as long as possible. Not these bubbles, you'll see. If you can keep those columns, they will keep you alive when she does her insta-kill, basically. So these little bubbles, if you've got a Satyr or a Berserker up there with a bigger body, or a Satyr with a shield that can just hold that shield up, you'll take away a lot of those, and you'll keep the spires up. Columns/spires. You want to keep, like I said, you want to keep as many of those as possible. You don't want them to go away. So here she's going to keep spawning them. I believe she does this 3 times before she does her final kill attack. So keep the spires up. Avoid these little purple things that pop up. Take on the bubbles that she blows. And then you'll see when she goes into her little insta-kill. We'll see what happens here. So you want to actually take those to the face if you can. Obviously some, like a mage and or a priest might not be able to take them to the face. So here's her insta-kill attack. She'll basically send out little balls from her body. And if these touch you, they will insta-kill you. You can't jump over them. You can't blink through them. I have noticed, though, if you are an Impin and you are directly under her and she does that attack, for some reason, we've had this happen before, it will actually miss the Impins. It will go right over their head or go through them for whatever reason. we have a satyr and I believe a mage or priest that have done this. They've stood right under her. She's sent out the insta-kill bubbles, and they've actually lived through it. So the last but not least, all you need to do is get her down to 10% health. And then what she does is she stuns everybody, like you see here. And then she actually says, I'm hurt. I'm going to go away. I don't like you anymore. That day was terrible. She'll peace out. She'll let everyone go. And then we're on to the next and last final boss. So this last hallway area, same thing again. You can actually grab all these mobs with one person if you prefer. Have everyone run through to the last gate, and then have that final person blast by them and run through the gate and let it close. And they shouldn't come into the last boss fight, but again, we've had it glitch before where these mobs and a golem came into the last boss fight, which made it extremely fun. So just be wary of that. Here I'm typing out DPS at 80%. So what you can do with this boss, we've seen it before. If you have anybody with defense downs, or you have a good group that can do a certain amount of DPS, you can actually, at 80%, when she goes back into the light, which you'll see, when she goes into the light at 80%, you can actually DPS her down to the point where you can actually kill her before she even gets to her second phase. This works extremely well when you have Berserkers with multiple defense downs at different percentages. This also works if you have Crusaders that have the defense down as well. I believe we did a pretty poor job of the DPSing her. Like I said, we're not fully maxed out here. We only have 2 mains and everyone else is alts, so can't really control that. So we actually just took on these mobs here. We're going to kill them all. The next set of mobs is a bunch of flowers. They won't attack you if you stay out of their way. If you stay to the left when you're running through the hallway, you can actually just bypass the flowers. If you need, to get some stacks, or you need to get your rage up, feel free to bang on one of these guys a couple times. So I guess before we hop in here, the last boss has a couple of interesting mechanics. First things first, when she's in the light, she will heal, which is why I'm saying if you have a really good amount of DPS, you can actually DPS her in the light. Even when she's healing, you can kill her that fast. Second thing is she will mark somebody with a green arrow above your head. When this arrow is above your head, which it'll actually come on me first, you want to go to a wall out of the light, and you want to let her attack and slightly move to the left or to the right, allowing her vines to hit the wall only. You'll see here. She's coming here from me, which is perfect. So with your character, you want to be right up against the wall, let her attack, slightly move to the left or right. As you can see, the vines pop up against the wall. That's what you want to do. You do not want to spread these all around the arena. This could be death trap for the rest of your teammates. I've done this dungeon enough to know. So there you go. Now she's going back to the light at 80%. And this is where you can DPS her down. We tried it here, but we actually didn't have enough variance in our percentages for the defense down. So we only had technically 2, even though there's a third one there. The third one is from a Guillotine Circuit, which is not going to do as much DPS. So normally during this phase, she'll pop seeds all around her. What you want to do is you actually, if you're not going to DPS her down, you want to step on these seeds. In the regular HOD, they will not do any damage to you. If you don't step on them, they will spawn all of these flower guys. And these guys, if enough of them are around you, they will take you down extremely fast. I think there's roughly 30 of them if you don't touch any of the seeds. So what you want to do is with your whole team, just run around, step on these seeds, and that'll decrease the amount of flower guys that pop up, which makes this a lot easier. Obviously, we tried to do the DPS down, and it didn't work, so now we're kind of paying for it a little bit here. It's not the end of the world. I don't think anybody actually went down during this fight. So same thing, when she gets back to a certain percentage, she will actually go back to the light to heal up again. And same thing, if you didn't get on the first one, you could try DPSing her down right here, which is, I think, what we do. And that's really the gist of this this fight. Oh, she will actually, when she's doing her other phases, she will actually shoot out purple petals. You want to avoid these. They will stun and hurt you. So when she does, she'll like slam the ground. She'll send out purple petals to kill everybody. And then lastly, she'll do spires that shoot from the ground and hit you underneath, which will knock you up. these will do a great amount of damage. Not only that, but when that happens and these minions, the little flower guys, are attacking you, that's where these guys are a pain, because they'll attack you while you're down. That will put you out of commission very fast. So she does petals that come out from her. You want to avoid those. She does spires that come out of the ground that attack you at your feet, that knock you up. You want to avoid that. And lastly, again, when this green arrow is on you, you want to take her to a wall and move back and forth. You do not want to run around like a crazy person with this green arrow above your head. And that's really the end of the HOD. Hope you guys had a good time. Thank you all for watching.